All right, here is the plum tree after harvest. There are still a few plums left in the tree. Let's see, there's some right up here. Just a few here and there on some of the branches that we didn't get out. That's okay, we have more than enough. And here is what they look like now. It's been a few days since we harvested these. They weren't all quite ripe, so they've been sitting in a box in the kitchen waiting to ripen up, and now they are a dark red, dark maroon, and very juicy. So I'm going to take a bite out of one, show you the bright yellow flesh inside. Very juicy. You can see bright yellow, very sweet, very juicy, very delicious. Well, there you go. Anyway, we're now in the process of turning these into jam and juice. We were going to turn them all into jam, but 75 pounds of plums turned into jam is a lot of jam, and it's a lot of work. So we got a bunch ready for jam, and I think we'll just juice the rest. I'm not sure exactly what plum juice tastes like, but hey, maybe we can mix it with our grape juice. That sounds good. That's good. Okay, we brought the plums in, and this is a pot of jam that we've got going. Now Christina's gonna tell you what we've done to make this jam.
Well, first we've pitted the plums and cooked them down, and then we put them in a blender to get them all blended up in the same. And then I brought it to a boil, added some calcium water and some lemon juice. And now I'm adding honey and pectin, because this is Pomona's pectin that I'm doing here. And you have to mix whatever sugar you're using with the pectin so that the pectin doesn't clump up. So that's what I'm doing.
So then we'll cook this up, and then we'll put it in jars and in the steam canner.
Yep.
And then we'll have plum jam. So
That's right.
Show you that when it's done, and also the process that we use for juicing the plums. Jam we're going to make. The last few jars are here in this steamer canner. We made some plain plum jam, we made some peach plum jam, we made some holiday jam with cinnamon and ginger and cloves in it. And now we're taking the rest, about half of the plums are all that are left, and we're making just plum juice. So this is our juicer right here. We've got a water reservoir in the bottom. Plums are in the top, and as the steam breaks down the plums, the juice will fall down into the reservoir here, and it'll come out and drip into this pan right here. So the plums up here in the top, we actually have two varieties of plums. This one is the Toka that I harvested the other day from the shaking tree, and I will put a link to how I harvested these. It'll be just right up on the top of the screen. These other plums that are a little larger and they're a little more yellow, these are called pipestone plums. We have a pipestone plum tree. It's just a small one that we only had in for a few years, but we got probably a couple dozen plums off of it. They are not nearly as good. They're very sweet, but they have very little flavor. The Toka plums are really good. They're sweet and they just have a lot of flavor. Really like them a lot. But anyway, the pipestone plum though is a pollinizer of the Toka. So when we have the pipestone near the Toka tree, then we get a lot more yield off of the Toka plum tree. So that's kind of the reason we have it there. But it does make plums good, that are good to eat and good to juice, and just not as good as the Toka. Anyway, that's what we've got so far. Okay, here are the results of all of those plums that we processed. Christina made a bunch of jam and juiced. So let's start off with the, over here we've got tart plum jam, because I don't like my jam too sweet. So that one's just a little bit tart. We made some jalapeno plum jam, which is not hot. It has some jalapeno in it, just enough to give it a little of the jalapeno flavor, but not a lot of heat. Some plum raisin holiday jam. So what's in this?
Raisins, plums, orange juice, and spices like cloves and cinnamon and stuff.
So it tastes kind of like the holidays. And then we had some pears hanging around. So while we were making the plum jam, Christina made some pear ginger jam. And we also had some peaches hanging around. So we mixed the peaches with the plums and made some peach plum jam, this is the best. That's delicious. And back here we have a few jars of this is actually still warm, of the plum juice. So how many jars of jam did we make approximately?
Like 50.
About 50 jars of jam, and I think we said 14 quarts of juice.
13.
13 quarts of juice, which we can make into jelly later on if we want to, or we can mix it with the grape juice and drink it like that, or we can...
Or cherry juice.
Or cherry juice. We got some cherry juice earlier this year too. So anyway, or we can make it into kefir. Make it a juice.
Kefir.
Yeah, water juice kefir, which is delicious. It makes it kind of into
like soda, but juice soda.
Fizzy juice, kind of like the sparkling grape juice you get at the store, but this is much better.
And it's probiotic.
This is delicious.
It's good for you, probiotic.
And speaking of probiotics, Christina has been making this sauerkraut, ginger, apple, red cabbage sauerkraut, garlic, lemon, dill sauerkraut. So are those the two flavors we've got going that she started going about a month ago?
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to see kind of what Christina does with all this stuff, how she makes the jam, how she makes the sauerkraut, leave a comment and maybe we can convince her to start her own channel showing how she does all of this cool stuff. All right, I think that's about it, and we will see you next time.